In a good slot position, you should also be able to see the outside corner of the plate for calling balls and strikes. Your head height should be where your chin is at the top of the catcher's mask. That is as low as you should ever go. Anything lower than that, and you would be obstructed by the catcher's mask. You never want to be higher than the top of the batter's strike zone. Follow the ball with your eyes, not your head. Work on your timing, and then make the proper mechanic. Here is the mechanic you should use for a drop third strike or a close catch by the catcher. You are also listening to hear the pop of the mitt or two sounds which would indicate the ball hit the dirt. You should use a jab step and lean to look in front of the catcher. This is the same jab step you use on a hot shot to look for fair or foul. From this position, you have to decide whether the catcher made the catch or not and make your call. When you signal your partner, you should step out to the side opposite of the batter and make the signal. Home plate umpires have to hustle to get into position, and you must constantly remind yourself what your responsibilities are. Putting the ball in play is important and needs to be done after every foul ball, time, or start of an inning. When you have a batter in the batter's box and a pitcher on the rubber, point to the pitcher and say, "Play."
Play.
If you're waiting for the batter to get in the box, keep your hand up signaling for the pitcher to not pitch yet. On a called strike 3, don't turn your head. Watch for a drop third strike, and be loud.
Hey! Hey!
Watch a high school, college, or pro game, and you'll notice that the home plate umpire always wears his mask over his hat facing forward. And so should we. The way to take your mask off is to use your left hand to pull out, away from the brim of your hat, and then up.
Off your mask. Left hand. Here. Pull out and up. One time.
When giving the count, use your left hand for balls and your right hand for strikes. Give the count after every pitch, and be loud.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
When a player is caught in a rundown or a pickle, if you only have one runner on base, then the home plate umpire needs to hustle and help his partner. Announce to your partner that you are coming to help and where. Remember, if 2 or more runners are on base, the home plate umpire has other responsibilities than the rundown.
Josh, I'm at first.
When you have a runner on third base and the pitcher throws a wild pitch, there's a good chance that the runner will try to score. Be still. Let the catcher clear you. Try to get to a position looking straight up the first baseline. This is known as first base extended. Follow the ball with your eyes, set your body, and make the call. When the ball deflects to the backstop and your position might interfere with the play, you should move to third base extended. This is the position looking straight up the third baseline. Follow the ball with your eyes, get set, and make the call.
Sing!
Let's take a look at a play you might see in a youth game.
Play.
He's out!
Remember in this situation that your first responsibility is whether the ball is fair or foul.
Play.
After making the fair call, the home plate umpire should move to the 45-foot line on first base to watch for possible runner interference or a foot being pulled off the bag. When you see a foot off the bag, remember it is not your call. You are in position to offer help to your partner if he asks for it. Do not make a scene alerting the other team that the runner missed the base. If you do this, then you are now affecting the outcome of the game. Don't rush your call. Lots of times, the player's actions will help tell you what the call should be. If you notice in the video, the first baseman searches for the bag as the first base umpire calls the runner out. The first base umpire should pause, replay the play in his mind, see that the first baseman was pulled off the bag and trying to touch it, then react to all of this information by calling the runner safe.
He's out! Play. He's out!
The balks that we are going to show you are the most common balks that you will see at the youth age. All of the examples you will see are balks. This is how you call a balk.
That's a balk. Time.
Here is an example of a pitcher not coming set. This is what it looks like when a pitcher comes set twice. If a pitcher drops the ball while engaged with the rubber, it is a balk. A pitcher cannot turn his shoulders while in a set position. When disengaging the rubber from a wind-up position, a right-handed pitcher must step off with his right foot. A left-handed pitcher must step off with his left foot. You and your partner are a team and need to work in tandem to call the best game possible. This means that you must communicate with each other silently as well as verbally throughout the game. There are also instances that you and your partner will need to confer with each other to make sure that you get the call correct. If a coach properly asks for time and goes to the umpire who made the call and asks if he can get help from his partner, here's what you do. If it is just a close judgment call, you are in good position and had a good unobstructed view of the play, you say, "Coach, this is my call, and I had a good view of the play. The call stands." If you are obstructed from the view, or if the coach asks about a foot being off the bag or a player dropping the ball, and you are not sure, you should tell the coach that you will check with your partner. Get together with your partner, alone, just the two of you, and ask what he saw. If he did not have a good view, then stick with your call. If he saw something different, then the person who made the original call will overturn the call by making the proper mechanic. You should also be ready to explain to the other coach why the call is being changed. You and your partner need to be on the same page the whole game. One of the ways we do this is by flashing the number of outs to each other. The rotation signal is used when you have a runner on first base, and sometimes when you have runners on first and third. This means that the home plate umpire will cover third if the field umpire has to make a call at second or first. The infield fly is only in kid pitch, not in t-ball and not in coach pitch. It applies to both baseball and softball. The infield fly is in effect when you have runners on first and second, or the bases loaded and less than 2 outs. The infield fly is a live ball and runners may advance at their own risk. The batter is called out when a fly ball is in the infield and could have been caught in a routine matter. The batter is still out if the ball hits the ground. A timing play is used when you have 2 outs and you may have a tag at one of the bases while a runner is crossing home plate. The home plate umpire has to watch and see if the runner crossed home plate before or after the out was made. Use this when you have 2 outs and a runner on second or runners on first and third. When the home plate umpire signals that he has the second play at third base in the infield, he is telling the field umpire that he will rotate to third only if there is a play made in the infield. Otherwise, he is staying home. Use this when you have a runner on second and less than 2 outs. When the home plate umpire signals that he's staying home, this lets the field umpire know that he has all the calls at the bases. Use this when you have the bases loaded, a runner on third, or when the timing play is on. Ejections are rare, but when they do occur, you must enforce the ejection in a professional manner. Don't ever touch, point, yell, or swear at a coach, player, parent, or fan. Instead, walk away. If you can't walk away, give them a warning by saying, "Return to your dugout or you will be removed from the game." If they continue, then eject them. Wait until they have left the field and resume the game. Once the game is completed, leave through the other dugout, even if it is the losing team. And if it is your last game, go directly to your car. When you get home, write an ejection report and email it to a THCUA board member. There is a link to an ejection report that can be filled out online at thcua.org in the members section. If a coach, player, or parent ever touches, yells, or swears at you, there is no warning. It is an automatic ejection. One common mistake that we see is foul balls being called too early. Judgment on a fair or foul ball is not made until the ball passes first or third base on the ground, hits the ground on a fly ball, or is touched by a player or man-made object. A fair ball passes in fair territory or touches first or third base on the ground, lands in fair territory or on the line on a fly ball, is touched by a player or comes to rest in fair territory. It is where the ball is when it is touched, not the player. A player can be standing in foul territory with his glove in fair territory, and when the ball is touched, you draw an imaginary line straight down to the ground. It then becomes a judgment call. On ground balls, wait until the ball passes first or third base before making your call. Sometimes the ball can deflect back into fair territory. The proper mechanic for a foul ball is to raise both hands above your head and in front of your body and announce foul ball. You can then signal to the side that the ball was foul. The proper signal for a fair ball is to point into the field of play. You never yell fair ball because fair and foul sound too similar. That's why you hear coaches say, "You run until you hear something come out of the umpire's mouth." Here is the mechanic for a foul ball.
Pitcher pitch.
Yeah, Brad.
Elbow!
Here is the mechanic for a fair ball.
Pitcher pitch.